Okay, we're streaming now. We're live. Okay, let's go. So, this is an online class for my grade 10 students at Santa Catalan Bata National High School. I am not requiring you to watch this live. You can just watch this via replay later if you have many things to do right now. I know that you have a lot of activities to do because today is an ADM here in Bulacan. So, you can just watch this later, but if you got notification of this live, you may watch live right now. Okay, so shall we start our online class or streaming class right now? Once again, so this is the quarter 2 module 4 of our lesson in English 10. So let's just have a short review of your previous lessons. For your previous lessons, you have formulated a statement of opinion and assertion. So when we say opinion, that is something that your own verdict, no, that is your own belief. That is what you believe. So no one would judge you based on your opinion. You shouldn't be judged because that's your own opinion. That's what you believe. And when we say belief is something that you believe even when you were young until now. That is something that you believe that is true. But again, you believe sometimes it doesn't have evidences. As the same with opinion. Your opinion is your personal judgment based on facts. Your belief is something that you believe even without evidences. And also, we have 3 types of statements: statements of fact, statements of policy, and statements of value. Okay, that's it. So now we're going to discuss about argumentative text, how to create or how to make argumentative text using modal verbs and modal adverbs. Let me show you my PowerPoint presentation. There you go. Okay, so argumentative text, modal verbs, and modal adverbs. Okay, so what are we going to do with this one? So let's try. Before we begin our lesson, modal verbs and modal adverbs. By the way, for this video lesson right now, we're just going to focus on modal verbs. And then for on some other times, we will, maybe tomorrow on our face-to-face classes, we will discuss about modal adverbs. But on this video lesson, this is just modal verbs. Okay, so let's try this one first before we proceed with our discussion. So let's try. Choose the right modal verbs. So you're just going to choose from the answers one of the word that is enclosed in parentheses. My teacher can and must speak, can or must speak 4 languages. My teacher can or must speak 4 languages. What do you think is the answer? I'm going to give you 3 seconds to say your answer aloud. My teacher can or must speak 4 languages. 1, 2, 3. Okay, if your answer is can, well, you're correct. Let's move on with number 2. Number 2, I can or might not be able to make it tonight. I can or might not be able to make it tonight. 3, 2, 1. If your answer is might, then you are correct. Number 3, can or may you come to the prom with me? Can or may you come to the prom with me? 3, 2, 1. If your answer is can, then you are correct. Number 4, Sheldon ought to or must study more if he wants to pass the test. Sheldon ought to or must study more if he wants to pass the test. Pass the test. Okay, if your answer is must, then your answer is correct. And last one, number 5, you must or could not speak loudly in the hospital. You must or could not speak loudly in the hospital. If your answer is, or let's count, 3, 2, 1. If your answer is must, then you are correct. Okay, so if you can observe, those are the words that are the modal verbs. Those are the modal verbs. No? So before I discuss this, so at the end of this lesson, you should be able to recall modal verbs and modal adverbs. And you're going to identify modal verbs and adverb modals as language features of an argumentative text. So the output of this is you're going to make an argumentative text using modal verbs and modal adverbs. Okay, so for this lesson, for this module, we're going to have 3 topics. The first one is modal verbs for this video lesson. Next time, we have modal adverbs. And the third one is argumentative essay using modals. Yeah. But this time, we're just going to focus on modal verbs lang muna. Alright. So, what's in? Identify the modal verbs found in the sentences. Let's try this first before we proceed. Okay, mobile phones can be used by students in schools positively and constructively. Using the informations or the knowledge that you have gathered from the previous activity, use that on this activity to identify the modal verbs. Again, mobile phones can be used by students in schools positively and constructively. Which do you think here is the modal verb? Okay, if your answer is can, then you are correct. Next, school officials might come up with policies on the proper use of mobile phones. I guess this is easy for you, everyone. 3, 2, 1. So if your answer is might, then you are correct. Very good. Next, parents should monitor their children's use of cell phones. Parents should monitor their children's use of cell phones. What do you think is the modal verb in this example? 3, 2, 1. Should. Okay, correct. If your answer is should, then you are correct. It's good. Next, students have to make sure that cell phones are used to enhance their learning and not to distract them. Which is the modal verb from this one? 3, 2, 1. Have to. Alright, you got that answer. That is correct. Very good. And last one, the responsible use of cell phones among children may lead to undesirable results. What is the modal verb from this sentence? 3, 2, 1. Alright, if your answer is may, then you are correct. Good job. You really did a great job on answering and identifying the modal verbs from those examples. It seems that you have already have an idea on what modal verbs are. Okay, so just to elaborate, and to broaden our knowledge about modal verbs, let us discuss what are these modal verbs and how to use them. So what are modal verbs? So modal verbs are special verbs which behave irregularly in English. So they don't work the same with verbs. They behave irregularly. So we're going to discuss that later. We're going to elaborate that later on. So they give additional information about the function of the main verb that follows it. Okay? So again, modal verbs always follow the main verb. Okay? Just always remember that. It always follows a main verb because it gives information. It cannot stand alone. It always follows a main verb. Okay? And they have a great variety of communicative function. Okay? So these are some examples of modal verbs. So I know that all of you are familiar with this. We have the word can, might, have to, should, ought to, could, may. Yeah, those are the examples that we had on our activities earlier. So these are very basic and we are all familiar with this. Okay, so modal verbs. So we have modal verbs, expression, and examples. For modal verbs, let's discuss the word can or can't for the present tense and could or couldn't for the past tense. So it gives us ability or it expresses ability. Now, so modal verbs can and can't or could and couldn't, it shows ability. Ability, or to say someone has or hasn't a particular ability. So, to say if someone can do this or someone can do that. That's why we use the word can. Can do this, can do that. So, their ability to do something. For example, Lito can speak Nihongo fluently, but he can speak English fluently. Okay, so these are the modal verbs that we use. Lito can speak Nihongo fluently, but he can't speak English fluently. It just shows that Lito has an ability to speak Nihongo, but doesn't have an ability to speak English fluently. Okay, so ability. Next, for another example is could, might, or may. So we have present and future. Could, might, or may. So it expresses possibility. So to express possibility about the present or the future, possibility that something will happen, or possibility that someone knows something. So to elaborate it further, let us have our examples. For the example, it says, it might be raining outside. You should take an umbrella with you. So the word is might. Okay, where's my cursor? I can see, there you go. Might. So it might be raining outside. So there is a possibility to rain outside. The other one, I may come and visit you after work. So there is a possibility that I will visit you after work. And the next one, it could rain later. So I will bring an umbrella with me. Just the same with the first example. It could rain later. So there is a possibility that it would rain later. So I will bring an umbrella with me. Again, for possibility, we use might, may, and could. Okay. Next, let's move on with must or must have. It could be used for the past or for the present. Okay, so what does it express? So it expresses certainty. It expresses certainty that something is very certain. No? Sigurado. No? For sure. Yeah. For sure. So you use must or must have to show that you are very sure, you are very certain with what you are talking about. For example, she speaks 5 dialects, so she must be clever. So the word must is being used for certainty, or you should really follow this. No? This is not negotiable. Kapag ginamitan natin ng must, dapat sundin. Okay? So just like if you hear the word attendance is a must. So must meaning you are required to attend. So when you say must, it's certainty. So she speaks 5 dialects, so she must be clever. You are very certain that she is clever because she was able to speak 5 dialects. Okay? And this one, we have a modal verbs should, ought to, or must. Ayan, may must ulit, no? So this one is for an advice naman. If you are telling them to do something or giving them advice, you should use the word should, ought to, or must. Yeah, just like what I said. You should use this. So that's my advice. If you're giving advice, you should do advice tayo, no? And advising you to give advice. So this one, you should buy some new shoes. So your advice is for him to buy new shoes. So ano yung ginamit natin? Should. You should buy some new shoes. The other one, you ought to sleep early. Grabe naman bilog to. You ought to sleep early. You ought to go to sleep early. You look tired. Yan, you're advising them because they look tired. You're advising them to sleep early. So that's your modal verb that you're going to use. And the other one, you must be careful and alert when driving alone. So you must be careful. So you're giving advice, you say must, giving advice, but if you will observe the sentence, careful and alert when driving alone, so this is a certainty, just like what we had on the previous slide. Diba? So this is a certainty. Dapat talaga sundin mo to because you must. Pero advice din siya. Okay. Next. Must have. or must. Must ulit, no? Must and have to. So, this one is an obligation naman. Yan, obligation. You are obliged to do this. Just like with certainty and advice. Ngayon naman, this is an obligation. So, this expresses a strong obligation. So, you really need to follow this. Kailangan talagang sundin. Pag ginamitan nyo ng word na must and have to. Okay? For example, you must finish your task by this afternoon. Yeah, just like what your teacher is telling you. You must submit your performance task today. So, when we say today, ngayon yun. So, if your teacher used the word must, you have an obligation to pass your performance task right now, today. Okay? So, you should feel a sense of obligation. She has to feed her pets every day. So, has to or have to. She has to feed her pet every day. So, that's an obligation, di ba? You should feed your pets every day naman talaga. So, you are obliged to do that. Kasi if you don't, they will die. Yeah. So, having pets are obligation. So, you use the words must or have to. Alright, so that's it. So, ganun lang kaigsi yung ating discussion for modal verbs. So, I think hindi kayo masasawa, masusuyang manood nitong ating lesson for modal verbs. So, that's why it's just short kasi modal verb pa lang to. And you're going to have modal adverbs for the next time and the creation of argumentative text. Okay, so let's move on with this activity. Let's try. So, this is our third activity for this video lesson na, right? So, activity complete me. Complete the conversation by using the appropriate phrase below. Okay. So, the phrases are, could that work? Couldn't make it. Can I have? May I help? Would like to look? Would like to book? Should work for me? Or would you like? Okay. So, this is a conversation between a patient that is booking for an appointment with the doctor and the doctor's assistant from Baguio Medical Center. I guess that the doctor assistant, I don't think it's an assistant or a nurse or like someone, I guess, from the hospital who assists her assisting the doctor. Okay, so A. So we have A and B because this is a conversation. So Baguio Medical Center. So this is a phone call. No, this is a phone call. Hello, Baguio Medical Center. Emma speaking. How blank you? How blank you? So this is very easy. This is very common. So choose from this. What do you think is the phrase that will fit in with this conversation? I'll give you 5 seconds to choose your answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, hello, Baguio Medical Center. Emma speaking. How may I help you? Right, that is the one. Okay, how may I help you? Yeah, so that's how you answer the phone. Next. So, ito na yung tumatawag ng sasalita. Good afternoon. I blank an appointment with Dr. Black for next week, preferably on Monday morning. I blank an appointment with Dr. Black for the next week. What do you think is the best phrase to go into this blank? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon. I would like to book an appointment with Dr. Black for next week. Kasi, di ba, I have told you earlier, she is trying to book an appointment with the doctor. So, I would like to book an appointment with Dr. Black for next week. Okay, so the other one answered again. Let me check her schedule next week. I'm sorry, I'm afraid she won't be at the clinic on Monday morning. But she has an opening in the afternoon at 3 p.m. Blank for you? Blank for you? Yeah. But she has an opening in the afternoon at 3 p.m. Blank for you? So which phrase from this one do you think best fits on the blank? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The answer is Could that work for you? Okay. So could that work? But she has an opening in the afternoon at 3 p.m. Could that work for you? Let us hear the answer. No, I blank. I work full-time, so it has to be either in the morning or in the evening. What about on Tuesday at 8:30 a.m.? Okay, again, no, I blank. I work full-time, so it has to be either in the morning or in the evening. What about on Tuesday at 8:30 a.m.? What do you think is the answer that best fit on the underline? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the answer is couldn't make it, right? Kasi no diba? So it's a negative. Couldn't. No, I couldn't make it. I work full time. So it has to be either in the morning or in the evening. What about on Tuesday at 8:30 a.m.? So the assistant says she's busy at that time, but there's an opening at 9:15 a.m. So she answered, great, that blank. Great, that blank. What do you think is the phrase that will best fit in the blank? Great, that blank. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the answer is, great, that should work for me. Okay, great, that should work for me. Okay, so the conversation ended in this one. And say, hello, di pala hello. Bababa na pala yung phone. And they say, okay, thank you, bye, great, that should work for me, thanks, bye. And the conversation ended. Good job, everyone. Everyone that is watching right now in this video, everyone that got the correct answers, that is a really, really great job. Ayan, gayahin ko nga sa picture. Like this, look at me. Nakita ba ako? Napabaliktad pala. Good job! Okay, so I think you have already understood the lesson about modal verbs. This is very easy, people, no? You should be able to get wrong ideas in here because this is very, very easy and easy to understand. Okay? So, for your final activity, this is an agreement. Fill it up. So, what you're going to do here is fill in the blanks with appropriate models. So, you have the choices here. We have will, shall, would, should, or can, could, may, and might. Okay, let me just remove my face from this. You could have a screenshot. Yeah. So you can have a screenshot of this so you can answer this at home. Alright. Sige, take a screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and pamain nyo na lang po. Pamain. Okay. Alright. Thank you so much, everyone. Grade 10. And I hope you have understood and you have enjoyed watching this video as much as I have enjoyed creating this video and also the PowerPoint presentation. And I really enjoy doing this videos. And please do your activities and watch this video and do your activities, so we will continue our lessons on the following days when we see each other at school. Okay? Thank you so much, everyone. Bye!